Good morning, or good, actually, what time is it? 12:48, so it's definitely good afternoon. Hope everyone's all right. I am out for a walk. My car is having a new turbocharger, which it needs anyway, but I think it might need a control boost valve or something as well. So yeah, more money. Also had the joys of, and it's probably not interesting to anybody, but the joys of driving down the road today, road sweeper sweeping the road, but the road sweeper not really picking anything up, and then threw a 5-inch nail into my back tyre. So now I need another tyre as well. So it's like, oh my God. So anyway, that is the whinge out of the way. Anyway, we are heading, don't know, it's about a 4-hour job to fix the car. I don't have a camera with me other than the Pocket 3 and my phone. So I thought, do you know what? Let's go for a walk, take you guys with me, see what we discover. So I'm out near Broad Oak Breed in East Sussex. It's very pretty. You hear the stream running. And we're just going to go for a good old walk. So out in the countryside, see what we see really. Might be quite a good little recce for photo shoots and just general photography really, because you know, you never know what you're going to find. It could be old buildings, could be whatever. So I've got some water and we're just basically walking across fields through woodland. There's loads of butterflies. Look, I don't know if you can see that, it's coming straight past. Gone. So yeah, definitely worth wandering down here with the camera. So the RX-10 would love it down here. That's fine. Shorts, brambles, this could be fun. We shall see. Joys. Alright, let's try and get through this woodland. Hopefully it's not so bad all the way through. Bugs everywhere, this is the trouble now. Summertime coming. Oh, it's opening up a little bit, so that's all right. That's pretty mad. Whoa. So I might get the phone out and take a few pictures. Or actually I might just use this. It doesn't take brilliant photos, but you know, we never know what we may see. So I think, yeah, that's not a bad shot to be fair. So let's carry on wandering. Get rid of my face, you'll probably rather see what we're going through. So this is opened up now, which is nice, so no more scratches and getting stung. Bluebells have died off, which you can see here, they've all died down. But you can see things like deer paths, so plenty of wildlife I'd imagine. But this would have been an old country lane, I guess, as such, because that came right down through the farm. And it's as wide as this, so obviously it would have been a long time ago, more of a, you know, used road or pathway. But now it's just sort of closed up a bit. Obviously it's not used by any traffic at all. Might have been used by horses or even horse and cart hundreds of years ago, you never know. So more deer tracks there, actually really obvious as well, look. Pretty cool. This could be fun. Using a water bottle not to get, oh God, that's spiky. Oh, ow, ow. Guess who's going home with cuts and scrapes? That'd be me. Oh, how does a stinging nettle get that high? Ow, you bugger. Ooh. I'm not being a wussy, just these are sharp. Oh, there we go, right. We're through. And then into a nice little wooded bit, which by the looks of it, path goes through there. Oh cool, and then we're out onto more of a thing. There's another path that runs through there as well. That's sweet. And then we're out through to open fields and meadows and stuff. Really quite pretty. So we're going to walk down here now. Check this out for the squeakiest gate in the world. Doesn't do it that way. I think someone just came through the gate. Really? Yeah. There we go. Right. Lovely. Oh, there's a deer. Don't know if you can see them there. But basically, having a bit of lunch. Not too bothered by me. And there's more actually walking over. Oh, young ones as well. That's cute. Just left to their own devices. Doing their own thing. There's two more youngish ones. I'm guessing the young ones. We've got some darker ones there and some sort of lighter browns. A little speckledy. Yeah. Kind of regretting not bringing a camera now properly, because that would have been quite a nice picture, that. Never mind. Let's carry on wandering. So let's talk photography, videography, the general world of images. You know, it doesn't matter if you're filming or just taking stills. We are now bombarded by so-called AI. I hate the word AI, artificial intelligence, which is spiderweb. Sorry. Bombarding the internet with fakery stuff. Some of it's quite funny when you see the sort of baby, animated baby videos and stuff like Jeremy Clarkson and Hammond and all that sort of stuff. That is quite funny, and you know that has its uses and it is quite amusing. And there's companies out there making money now from those apps, which obviously didn't really exist a couple of years ago. And you know, it just shows what's possible now. But at the same time, it is eating into the creative side of us in a degree. Obviously, you can use AI and actually create something that enhances your work if you've got an idea that you couldn't do. So, for example, you wanted to replace those power lines with chimneys or windmills or something like that. You know, you'd probably do it with quite a bit of ease today. And would it look good? Sometimes it looks awesome. Sometimes it looks terrible, you know. And you know, it's obviously art is subjective to each and every person. Someone likes one of your photos but doesn't like mine, you know. And you know, I've always sort of looked at things with quite an open sort of thoughts on things, a bit relaxed on a lot of things. I do sort of go by, you know, level horizons and, you know, going through diagonals and, you know, triangular and circular and all the flattering stuff that naturally we look at and go, oh, that's really pretty, or that's really nice, that's much more complimentive being like that. You know, all those sort of standard, say, rules are there to be broken, obviously, but a lot of the time it really does make or break an image. And you know, if you've got a picture of a boat on a lake and the water isn't level, as in your photo is not level, you know, to most people they won't even think about it. But for someone who's a little bit sort of more knowledgeable on things like that, you know, we're going to go, oh yeah, because water's always level. So yeah, it's never ending on what's good and what's bad. And you know, where's it going? That's the thing. You know, are we losing photography? You know, is that art disappearing? There's plenty of us who love just to take photos. You know, like now I'm out walking and I could sit at home, I could come up with some AI images, but I haven't done anything. I haven't gone out and done a bit of exercise. I haven't gone, oh, I want to take a picture of that. I'm just going to set my aperture, set my shutter speed, spend a little bit of time, you know, portrait shoot. A nice young lady or a nice guy, dressed nicely, in a nice meadow, maybe even set up having a picnic or something. Just a nice shot, it could be anything. And the world experience is, I think, more important than fake images. you know, and we get a buzz. Anybody who is a photographer or videographer, we get a buzz from capturing stuff. You know, you're like, oh wow, I got that. Oh, it could be a bird of prey swooping in and catching something, or you know, the night sky up here, Milky Way, you know, stuff like that, or motocross bike jumping, capturing that in, you know, freeze frame kind of thing. You know, it's really quite a challenge and also enjoyable. The beauty of photography and videography is that we all have the same interest, but at the same time varied subjects. So, I can't get it. I don't know if you can hear that plane, but he's up there. He's just done a Arion roll, I think it's called. Well, they do a bit of a barrel roll, but you know, they put a bit of rudder on. He's up there, just almost the other side of that tree now. You won't be able to see him because I can't really zoom in much, but there's no point. But yeah, we can, you know, be filming or photographing so many different things. The world, as they say, is your oyster. You know, there is so many types of things. Dragonfly thing. So many types of things we can capture. You know, you could photograph this buttercup. We could photograph the deer over there. We could photograph that plane up in the sky. We've got, you know, the sun, you know, as an eclipse. You know, it's never ending. It is never ending. And even though today there's a billion photos probably taken a day, if not more, dumped on social media somewhere, it's, you know, it's amazing how much mobile phones are used, obviously, and cameras, you know, to capture something interesting. You know, some people are just taking point and shoot snaps. I'm walking down here filming something, talking crap really, listening to an airplane doing acrobatic stuff. He's probably practicing for the Eastbourne Air Show, I'd imagine. But I find that photography itself is very relaxing. Obviously, depending on what you're doing, job-wise, if you're doing it for work, obviously it's probably not so relaxing because, you know, it's a bit of stress related. But there's so much we can photograph nowadays, well, as well, with some of the kit is quite incredible. And we are spoilt for choice with cameras, animal of some sort. So yeah, it is incredible what we can actually capture. I don't know which way I'm going, I'm kind of lost. Is this the footpath? Don't really know. I presume so. And the argument, which has been going on and on and on for decades, which is the best cameras. And we have so many different makes now, you know, obviously from Sony to Canon to Nikon, Fuji, Panasonic, Hasselblad, and more. What is the best? You tell me. End of the day, we all have different needs or different wants, and you know, it's totally down to you. End of the day, I decided from going from Nikon into Konica Minolta because Konica Minolta at the time was selling to Sony, and there was big promises of being, you know, good stuff coming, which obviously it did happen. So I trusted a shop owner, a camera shop owner, on his advice. And I got a load of free stuff because they were getting rid of the old stock. And when it went to Sony, it gave me lots of options. Yeah, it was a bit clunky to start off with, but now you just look at the Sony kit and it's awesome. As is Canon, Nikon. Things changed. Things took a little while for the other brands to catch up with Sony because they sort of pioneered all the newer stuff with the mirrorless side of things, and you know, especially the full frame side and the eye autofocus and things like that, and that was a huge game changer. So, you know, today it doesn't matter what you buy. Yes, some have got different features, some have slightly better this, some have slightly better that. Just use it, shoot it, enjoy what you're doing. You know, I could be walking down here not with the Pocket 3, could just be using a phone. But I've chosen to use a Pocket 3. I spent money, which I'd earned, to buy something that's quite nice to use. Has quite a few functionalities. Obviously the wireless microphone helps, even though there's not much wind today. But it's quite cool. And the way the technology is now, we have so much kit that we can make the most of. Look back 15 years, look back 20 years, which is not a long time. And look what the technology was then. You know, we've now got up to about 800 focus points, where before we had about 8. 8 to 11, I think it was. So, yeah, there you go. And that's just one small thing, you know, the autofocus speeds, to tracking, to everything. And even, you know, it is just bonkers. So if you're thinking about getting into photography and videography and stuff like that, it's just nuts. You only got to look at the drone things. You know, it was with Ian the other day and playing with the new Mavic 4 Pro. What a bit of kit that is. You know, what a piece of equipment. And you know, it's yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money, but at the same time, what you can do with the thing is absolutely incredible. So, you know, it's game changing in a lot of ways. And you know, the stuff we're using, even with this Pocket 3, even though there was previous versions, this is just better. You've got a decent sized screen that you can see, and it's actually quite sunny, and I'm looking at the screen in the sun via sunglasses, and it's awesome. You know, it's nice and smooth. You know, you can move the camera around, there's no vibrations, there's nothing. It's lightweight, it fits in your pocket, literally. And that's just one small product. So I think when people get a bit, you know, OTT on the bitchiness of, oh, this brand's better than that brand, you know, when they're comparing different makes for having basically exactly the same thing, it's what you're used to. And the thing is, as well, if I've bought a Sony, which I have done, obviously all my lenses fit Sony. Yes, you can buy adapters to use old lenses and other makes on your cameras now, which we have done for about 5 or 6 years. It's yeah, it's not quite as good as having, you know, native lenses. So, you know, it is what it is. But I've seen people get so pissed off because Sony didn't release this or Nikon didn't release that, and they've upped and left the that brand, sold all of their kit for a huge loss, and bought the Canon, for example, or a Nikon, and they're like, they're so much better. And you're like, you just wasted a shitload of money just because another company didn't give you what you really would like. That makes no sense, you know. Yeah, I mean, if it's a hobby and you don't really care about losing a bit of money, go for it. But anybody who earns money for something, you've got to earn more money to pay for the loss. Makes no sense. I've done stupid things in the past, bought something and thought, oh, that was brilliant, I really need that, and then just didn't use it, or I couldn't use it because I wasn't really good enough for it. So, you know, there's things like that you learn from. And, you know, so, but bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. It's definitely one of those things. But anyway, lovely meadow there. It's bloody warm, guys. And we're walking uphill now, which is not fun. But I'm going to walk to the end of this road, which is the church, and then we've got the pub, which I'm not going to go into, and then eventually I'll walk up to the top, and then to round to the reservoir. Yeah, and then we will basically head back slowly to where my car is. Oh, look at that for a field. See, this is what I mean. How beautiful. It's buttercups. So I am going to have to take photos with this. This is a public footpath, so I can go in here. But what a picture this is. So, yeah, we are just going to go into this field. And it's absolutely stunning. Look at that. What a lovely burst of yellow that is. As I say, always shut the gate when you leave a field for a public footpath. Last thing you want is a load of cows or sheep getting out. But it just proves I'm out for walks in the middle of nowhere, really. I do know where this is, I can get back here. But the fact is you've got that lovely possibility of some photos there in a lovely field. It's you know, the chance of me walking past in reality, or driving past, especially if this is a dead end road, is quite remote. So it just shows you getting out and about on foot is actually a really good thing to do. One, obviously burning energy by walking, and not distracting Dave the mechanic, because that's the trouble. I'll be there chatting away, asking stupid questions. I thought, no Dave, I'm going to go and leave you to it. And he went, okay. So we'll go back in a few hours with him scratching his head, shouting at it. And see from there, really. But anyway, I'm going to carry on walking for a bit and see if I find anything interesting, and I'll be back. I find it fascinating. I say death, but not death so much, but more the people who've died. So when you walk around a church, which I don't do very often, to be fair, you've got headstones everywhere in the churchyard. And some you can still read. So this person here, if I can work it out, it's a bit damaged from the mossy stuff that grows and it eats into the stone. I think 1850 or 1950, no, born 1850 something, I don't know, can't tell on that one. But same with these have been here quite a long time. And obviously depending on how much money you had. There we go. So this is Robert Ashton Baker, died May 4th, 1985. So that's relatively recent. But there's one over there I want to go and look at. Which has got an anchor on it. So I'm guessing he must have been a sailor or something. And the best thing about churchyards is there's lots of flowers and stuff always growing, like wildflowers. So if you want to come and do wildlife photos and stuff like that, you can with because there's lots of wildlife, butterflies and bees and stuff flying around and things like that. So this person was died in 1920, aged 42 years. Master Mariner and Captain of the BISN Company, who died on September the 18th, 1920, aged 42. And then someone else as well. There. So it was 1928 to 2022. Blimey. And this one here, look at this, is amazing. So that's all stone, it looks like wood. 1903, age 55. And someone else as well, 1922, 74 years old. So there's 3 people in this grave, actually more, because there's another one down there. So pretty much the whole family together. I don't know if they're buried or if they are cremated and then obviously ashes are there, not really sure. Just trying to be careful where I tread. So it looks like people have come through here before. Just being respectful. And then you get these ones here, which are obviously very simple. Piece of wood, bit of hardwood, and it's got that on there, but no plaque or date or anything, so no, nothing. It's interesting. Really, really interesting. Yeah. Anyway, on with the walk. And I'm not really religious at all. I was baptised as a Christian, but I don't follow the church or anything like that. But I still find it fascinating, old buildings and things like that. So, and obviously at some point we all die, sadly. We are just part of life, you know. And then you get the people who had a bit more money and can afford big graves like that. There's a place in London. I think there's 4 cemeteries, and there's one that is amazing as a churchyard, and it really blows your mind how they crammed people in London, around the outside of London. Originally they were built on the outskirts of London, but obviously now they've gone past it. But there's so many headstones and everything all between each other. It's ridiculous. Even people buried under the pathways who didn't have very much money, so you'd basically be buried on top of each other, and then paths were built and stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. I was just going to take a photo because it looked really nice as a shot. Actually back there, but it might work right here. Problem this time of year, bugs everywhere. Sunglasses on, stop the bugs going in my eyes. But it's muggy as well. Look how dry the ground is. Oh, hang on, do I need to go that way or straight on? We have options, guys, we have options. I love doing stuff like this, just getting lost. We are going that way, apparently. Is that right? Or that way? Oh, God knows. Anyway, we're going to walk down. Who knows? No, we're off the path now. Oh, okay. Oh, this is pretty. So basically, we've got to keep going up. Okay, cool. Basically, I'm heading towards, on the map, there is a pond of some sort, or a lake maybe. And I thought, let's walk to there. And then we go up through and out the other side. There's houses up in the distance there. And there's a shop and everything, so I thought I'll grab a snack and then head down towards the main reservoir, which is a mile or so that way, and go from there. But definitely got bugs in my hair. Feels a bit muggy. It's not going to rain. Look at here. There's an animal in there somewhere. Be a rabbit or mouse or something. Anyway, this is pretty. I love this. So you sort of get, I mean, there's power lines running across, which I think can be really nice leading lines. In fact, when we turn around, when we get to the other side of the field, it'll probably be quite picturesque looking back that way. That should be cool. So anyway, let's get a little move on. But once this grows up a lot higher, I don't know what plant it is. I've no idea, but it could be one for the drone actually. It'd be quite cool. So these sort of videos, a little bit of inspiration from my friend Matt. He's called the Lanky Explorer, and I'll put a link in his description. Go and have a check his channel. He's to be honest, his videos are very good, and he does ridiculous amounts of miles exploring places, walking, running, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're into that, you might find his channel quite interesting. I don't know where we're going off this, but there's a pond or something straight in front of us, because there's irises. Yeah, looking behind us, it's quite picturesque actually. Even with the the power poles, it is quite nice. So we've got here a little bit of a pond situation going on. So they're irises, I know that because I've seen them before. But yeah, it's a little bit of a pond that's unfortunately been taken over by them, because you can see, if I come down, that would have been pond at some point, but they've basically grown up and basically killed the pond area. This would have been probably quite a nice bit of water at some point. Anyway, let's wander down here. Not sure if you can see that, but that's where we are. Not that it gives you any idea, but apparently there's a pond here to our right, which again is probably overgrown, which it looks it, sadly. Okay, so the GPS is completely wrong, because the actual pond is here, which I thought, but it's covered in duckweed, and quite a good size actually. It's just a shame it's not being cleared out, because that, you know, would have been a lovely thing. In fact, there's coots and moorhens in it. I can see just in the distance. And things. And there's even ducks on it. Come on, ducks, eat the pond, eat the duckweed. So it's obviously in use, but just needs a good clean. But I don't know how that even happens. More animals. Anyway, let's carry on wandering. So the GPS marker on the thing is beware of horses. Cool. So up we go. Oh, okay. So it wasn't wrong, but oh wow, so it's actually quite a nice pond. I don't know if we can see. The camera won't get a chance to view it, I don't. Ow. Actually, there's quite a bit of water there. That may be a visit back another day, just going to have a nose. But anyway, let's crack on. So out into another field, paddock of some sort, following the power cables. We're heading uphill. Buzzard buzzing around, just cruising between trees. So, to be fair, it's definitely worthwhile going for a little hike in the woods and the countryside, because you never know what you're going to see. I've seen quite a bit today. It's just quite pleasant, isn't it? A bit peace and quiet as well, even though the wildlife's not exactly quiet. But there we go, it's nice. So we're just coming up to the main road. And obviously a bit of a farm kind of thing. They've got old tractors and things in there, which is cool. Cool little modern house. This place, it's crazy. Obviously used by horses, but it's a public trail. That's awesome. Look at that. Kind of a bit spooky. Well, it would be in the night time. You can see animal tracks. You might not be able to see it on camera, but the fact that animals obviously rush between here, and there's nothing alive on the floor really, apart from a bit of moss. That's weird. Everything's alive up there, but it's open down here. How strange. There is a pond or a lake here somewhere, which is actually here, you can see it. So maybe in the winter this floods big time, so it's a bit like where the reservoir is, they just kill everything by drowning, but the plants that grow above it, it's nothing special, it's just dead fallen trees in there. Yeah, crazy. Bit strange, but that's what I'm saying. You go out for these walks and you find these places and you're like, I've never knew this was existed. I've been driving past here for years, and you've got these hidden sort of places that are just bizarre, you know, really, really strange. And then when you look out there, and then suddenly then we come across one massive oak tree that is rather old, and probably its offspring there that's failed, or that may have been, I don't know, but that's taking up all the light and pushing everything back, so you end up with a clearing, and then you've got this weird, kind of cool place for a spooky photo shoot, that's for sure. That's definitely logged in my brain for a bit of smoke machine in here. That'd be sweet. You know, sort of a woman in a cloak, dark cloak, walking through there with a bit of smoke machine going on. That'd be so cool. Or even, if I found out who was riding horses through, a lady in a cloak walking through on a horse. That'd be sweet. Anyway. And if you're wondering why I'm talking like this, is because it's got to stay in my brain, and obviously recording things on camera remind you. So what a cool place. Obviously you can see where horses have been, where it's muddy and they've kicked up loads of mud. So if I wonder if I come via maybe horse stables or anything. Bit bizarre. Old tyre, unless there was used to be a rope up there or something. It was a bit of a swing. I can't speak sometimes. Yeah, a bit of a swing. But again, a couple of other oak trees. It's very strange. But you can see how dry the ground is. We haven't had rain in ages, so everything has dried up big time. Cracks everywhere. Very, very bizarre. So we're back in the woods. Got an old rock here that's been carved into. Someone says Paul. A few other names and stuff in there. And oh, that is for. Anybody knows? Let me know. Apart from being some kind of, don't know, they shooting at target practice, maybe with an air rifle or something. Not sure. But anyway, we're going to go. Oh, that's quite cool. I'm not going to go this way, but it's quite a nice little bridge. But we're going to go down there in a minute. But as this is quite close and I've seen it, I don't know what the stream's like going through. Not a huge stream, but obviously it gets bigger in the winter. Well, the steps going up, blimey. They are steeper than they look on camera, trust me. Anyway, back to the stream. It's not much going on. Down there, it's not very big. But obviously in the winter, I'm sure it does get a bit ferocious if it's a wet winter. But anyway, let's carry on down our path. Yeah, I cut out the bit walking on the road because that was just literally boring, but this is quite cool. This has been kept by man, obviously. It's round one of the reservoirs, which is obviously drinking water for humans. Apologies, I just had a fly go straight in my mouth. Don't like that sort of protein, it's not the tastiest. Well, this is quite pretty. Cool. Well, the tree fell down and blocked the path. which is the way I think I've got to go. And then down to there. I need to have a look, but pretty sure I've got to go down there and then left. But we'll double check in a second. You can kind of see how high it must get on a bad winter. If that, the roots are kind of there, but it's grown up and it's a bit weird. So either earth has been washed away, that's bizarre. But cool curved branch there, which is mad. Anyway, let's carry on wandering. Need to get out more and explore. That's so cool, look at that. Been around a while. Alright, anyway, we're heading down. So we're on the east side of the reservoir now. And if I'd went to the right, obviously, it would have been the sort of north side as you walk around the top. But I don't want to go that way because I'm kind of regretting actually coming this way. Yeah. Brambles everywhere. Shorts, not a good idea. Oh well, I can deal with a bit of pain. Lucky it's only every now and again. It just seems to have a growth spurt of brambles. And, don't even know if we're going to be able to see the reservoir, like the edge of it. Depends how close we can get. Who knows? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which way do I go? Actually, it's right. So, checking the GPS. The thing is, I don't normally use GPS because I'm quite good with my directions. But when you get little pathways and stuff like that, and I've got nowhere to gauge life from, it's quite difficult, isn't it, to kind of work out where you're going. I'm going to put my glasses on. It's what you call overgrain, a little bit. Anyway, let's get through here. Out, spiky. But lovely little adventure in a day when you've got nothing else to do. It's definitely cool. But I definitely need to walk through here with a saw or something and have a bit of a clear up, or strimmer at least. Right, here we go. We are now on the path that went through, so I'm guessing we go down here. So it's amazing how dry it is everywhere, but you've got mud and water everywhere as well. Pretty crazy. Oh my god, look at that! That's crazy. And then a tree that's completely fallen down, which we're going to have to go under or over. We'll go up and round. Too old for rolling under stuff nowadays. We'll just step up over. Sorry, it's my water bottle sploshing. Right, there we go. We are a bit more open path now, which is nice. Exposed roots everywhere, and that, I'm guessing, is part of the reservoir, the edge of bits that normally sort of creep into the woodland. So we should be, yeah, look, water down there. I find it amazing how shallow the roots are when a tree fails, just falls down, but then animals then make it their home. There we go. The sun is shining. We've come out into the nicer bit. Forget about my water sloshing. If I spent some time learning stuff, I could tell you what kind of tree that is. It might be like a long bearded chicken burrow tree or something. Or this one here, this the spider webs might be from a banana legged African, I don't know, hippo pig or something. Oh, I've got attacked. Blimey, alright, calm down. I reckon that was a booby trap. Probably got me as well. You can bugger off. Oh. Anyway, keep on walking. Now that is the ultimate trip hazard. That's crazy. It's missing the tree trunk. Bizarre, but it's a triangle shaped stump. There seems to be a lot of these in twos, like fallen down stuff, but often in twos. Which is a little bit bizarre. The amount of spider webs I'm walking through is ridiculous. Oh, it's almost a good view through there. It's not, but it's clearing, it's a bit clearer. That's a stump. Oh, more spider webs in the face, lovely. Lovely, lovely. There we go, a bit more water. Exciting stuff. What I want to find is like I say a beach area, but like an opening where I can sit and admire the view for a little while. Now this would be fun on a mountain bike. A lot of little humps and bumps, smooth trail. Can hear the I don't know if you can hear that. Bugs, bees or flies up in the trees. Oh, that's a nest. So, oh, sunglasses. That's crazy. I've never seen, hang on. I've never seen a wild bee's nest before. That's in the side of a tree, about 15 to 20 feet up. And they're in and out, in and out, in and out constantly. How cool. Amazing. Oh, we have sunlight on me. It's quite nice. Yeah. Oh, and ducks, I think, on the water down there, or something. Keeps moving. Oh yeah, it's just a duck. Nothing too crazy. I love these though, where was once a tree. See that, or bomb craters from the war, because there was loads of planes dropping bombs all over the place. And you do see them in the woods occasionally where there's definitely no tree, or was never a tree. It was just something that was completely blown to bits, and it was just craters everywhere. So it wouldn't surprise me. Closer to being able to see out and into the water. It's only there. That was cool. I've never seen I say a wild bee's nest, but normally if I've ever seen bees, it's from a beehive. So, yeah. Oh. Something in the water, making a sploshy sound. Quite big though. Not sure what. Unless it's a boat. Someone on their little boat doing fishing or something. I don't know if they're allowed to on here. Not sure. Already just seen some ducklings and a nice opening actually. Nice clearing. There we go. Well, it's pretty clear. Nice. What a view, lovely. Anyway, that's Wanderer. So I've walked around about 7 miles, I think, so far. Which is not bad going, is it? I thought we were going to do about 6, but I've still got about another 1.5 miles to go back to where the car is. There we go. It's just the brambles that are buggers. Stinging nettles haven't got me too bad, which is good. But it's the brambles that you get tangled up in them. But what a lovely wander. And guess what? Apart from being out on the road, I stop at the pub for a quick drink and a bag of peanuts. I've not seen a single person at all. So other than out on the main road, I've not seen anybody out walking or anything. No dog walkers, no nothing. Very peaceful. I'm coming to another viewpoint by the looks of it. Oh, this is better. Little baby. Baby moorhen just went down there somewhere. I don't know if it makes any difference having some polarising filters on. Helps a little bit, I think, doesn't it? Hard to tell. That's cool. Man fishing. Busy, bugger off fly fishing, which is cool. So yeah, quite like the jump in to double your zoom factor, and then you can do 2 times as well on top of that. It's quite handy actually in video. Right, let's carry on walking. Oh, we've got the 2 path up. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. Oh gosh. So I think we go left. I do believe we go left. And then veer to the right in a minute. But we shall see. So, we have a bit of a down and up situation going on here. We're about 30 feet up There's a bit of a path going down here and a bit of path going over there and whatnot. So there we go. And the spider web's obviously undisturbed by people. I think I might, rather than climb all over that, I might just jump down here. Ferns are growing nicely. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Blimey, that's definitely washed through, isn't it? If it's worn that away. So it definitely comes cascading down here in the winter. We had a lot of rain, you can see all the rocks and everything in there. Pretty cool. See, I would love to find in East Sussex, there's a couple of waterfalls I know about, but you know, that's come washing through there. I wish we had some really good waterfalls, but we don't really. He's going up the hill. It's quite steep. And up some more. Still going. Yeah, we've come from all the way down there, which isn't that far, but looks it when you're walking up it. Decided to have a little rest because it's really muggy and I'm sweating like a pig. And I've just climbed up quite a long way, probably a few hundred meters climb in total. It's just, you know, a long thing, and I thought, blimey, it's warm. Yeah, and then I literally just about to start recording and the sun went back in, so I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, we're still in the woods. But let's crack on, do another thing. But you know when you're sort of walking around and you're thinking, blimey, I'm sweating. Even like your kneecaps are sweating and you're thinking, it must be muggy, it must be sort of like thunderstorm weather brewing, and that's kind of what it feels like. It's quite still and yeah, sort of sweating on the arms, and yeah, feels just definitely warm, that's for sure. So anyway, still going up the never-ending hill. Hey ho, anyway, let's carry on walking. It's a bit boring for you guys, so I'll be back shortly. That was literally uphill all the way from the reservoir. A little bit of breathing heavy, but that's good for you. So yeah, here we go. Right, so back along the road and see how my car's doing, which it won't be done yet, I doubt. And I still think it's got an issue anyway. So never mind. Let's carry on. Carry on walking. The best exercise you can ever do.